Oh, you know what? I wanted to make sure I had the right music. There it is. How to get the right music trigger pad, because that kind of sets the tone for the whole thing. Hey, today we are excited to be with you. We're talking about this new Cadillac EV, used car prices again. I mean, do we ever stop talking about used car prices?
We never stop talking.
Also going to talk about I think it's a cool deployment of AI on consumer reviews.
Oh, I think it's great.
I wonder what everyone's going to think about it. I mean, at first I was like super skeptical about it the first time I read it, and then, or when I started reading it, and then I like, hey, you know what? I actually sent an email. I think I CC'd you on it to our friend Jamie Oldershaw at Dealer Rater, because I'm wondering what he thinks about it.
Yeah,
it's got I would say a qualified perspective on consumer reviews.
Absolutely. I'm gonna hit Matt Murray at Wide Whale right after that too.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna ask everybody, like, what do you think? You gonna do this?
Gotta tap the brain trust.
Copy paste. Yes, exactly.
Tap the brain trust.
Oh man.
So we both said,
get after it. Get after it. So here's the thing. We literally are talking about ASOTU every day because this is our heart. We really believe that it is the place that the conversations, the connections, the learning, the energy, the vibe, everything that allows you to be more in your stores, in your companies, all of that. Like, we put our heart and soul into the content, the engagement, the energy, the feel, the vibe. We put everything into it because we know it's the place that can literally transform your organization. And one of the people that absolutely line up and believe that with us is the team at Effective. They were one of the first ones to throw down and say, yes, we're in again. And we want to make sure that we're a part of not just like overall sponsorship, but content. And so they're going to be hosting again ASOTU sessions with Effective, which is our podcast booth. We've moved the podcast booth. If you were there last year, it was off to the side in a side room and kind of sectioned off. It's going to be right in the middle of the expo floor.
Great.
Seating around it, the recharge lounge with snacks and all that right out in front of it as well. And so it's going to be a really engaging place. I think we're hosting over 22 conversations at that booth, short form conversations with people that will be at the event. So you are not going to want to miss the podcast booth partnered with by Effective. And thanks so much for throwing down. Yeah.
It's one of the things we love about ASOTU. We're always like bringing conversations, even if it's not in a session, there's stuff happening, people for you to listen to, converse with, talk, because the perspective shift is really why you've made progress in your business or life, right? Think about just about in every area, somebody saying something or you seeing something that changes your perspective just a little bit is usually the first thing that happens before you make a positive change in your business or your life. So funny thing about that. So back to Kyle's statement. That's why we're talking about ASOTU every day, because we have a whole team working feverishly to make that a reality for you. Join us September 26, 27. Go to ASOTUcon.com to see the growing list of speakers. I think we added like 70 to 100 rooftops just yesterday. Just done yesterday. All right, let's talk about adding things. Consumers are realizing something dealers have actually known for a while, and that's finding a used car under $20,000 is no easy feat. This Jalopnik article was shared with us by our good friend Daniel Gover, who, by the way, we have a new show with called The Wheelhouse. A recent study highlights the dramatic changes in the used car market with budget-friendly options dwindling. Check this out. In 2019, so if you're thinking you're like a consumer's like, am I crazy or does this just seem real expensive now? No, you're not crazy. In 2019, remember then, right before the pandemic, nearly 50% of the market, that means 50% of all the used cars on the market comprised of sub $20,000 vehicles. By 2023, it is only 13%. So basically it was like
unreal.
Five out of 10 were under 20,000. Now it's like 1 out of 10 are
it's like
20,000.
Hey, what kind of payment are you looking for? $350 payment. Perfect. We have 50% of our used cars that can accomplish that. Nowadays, 13%.
See that line in the back? See that line in the back? Yeah, the one with the tire falling off. Yeah, that's your $15,000 line. A study from IC Cars revealed the popular used car models like Camrys and Civics are now up to $8,000 more expensive in 2019. But for me, the percentages tell the story. So a Corolla, the highest on the list in 2019, a Ram 1500 average used Ram was $27,324. In 2023, that's up 56%. to 42,881. A Corolla jumped almost 50%. You could get lots of Corollas for 16.5 back in the day. Now you're looking at $24,000. And those little Honda Civics, they're also up 46% from 16. Oh, I'm sorry. The Corolla was 14,000 to 21. The Civic jumped 16,000 to 24.
Can you believe that?
Gee whiz.
Three Civic models were brand new, listed under 24 grand just 3 years ago. Now the average used is 24. That's ridiculous.
Goodness. Yeah. So on the Wheelhouse podcast that we were talking about, it's so much fun. Daniel Gover, GM of Mercedes-Benz of Easton, he hosts the show much like you'd see. I don't know. It's wild. And he brings up this topic. You have to go check it out because you're going to watch it and we're like, what the heck is this format? It's amazing, by the way. And we talk about the affordability of the cars in a little bit more detail. So, George Shimon, who some of you may know, CEO of online auction company ACV, happened to say on their earnings call yesterday that industry trends are pointing towards an ongoing recovery in the market. Obviously, a lot of auction data, he said, and he thinks that we'll start to see next year be the year where normalization happens. And by 2026, will be normal. Boy, does that seem really, really, really far away.
Like if I had a quarter for every time someone predicted normal in the last 2 years, I'd be a rich freaking man. It's unbelievable. Look, I have no clue when normalcy is going to happen again, but I can tell you it's not going to be this fall. Everything is pointing to between the potential UAW strikes to strangulated markets to EVs still being a large percent of production to used car availability. Nothing is changing about this market. I can pretty much dang guarantee that. Let's go.
Speaking of things changing.
Stop.
Whoa.
Time.
All right, this is like the opposite end of $20,000 used cars. Reiterating their commitment to heading towards an all-electric future, Cadillac revealed the 2025 Escalade IQ at a launch event yesterday. This revamped version of the iconic SUV is priced about, get this, $130,000 starting price, 450 mile. Oh, that's so much money. 450 mile range, and they're trying to, really combine this Escalade brand with some brand new cutting edge tech. GM President Mark Royce said in the event, Escalade has defined what a full size luxury SUV is supposed to be from the get go. It was the cream of the crop. It's what everybody wanted. Almost immediately became a status symbol. So true. There's in a lot of hip hop videos. The Escalade IQ is riding on a wave of all that history, all the cachet, and all the greatness. A lot of big words here. And only now it's fully electrified. So this thing is 4 inches wider than the current Escalade. Like, is that going to fit in my garage?
There's
4 inches wider. That's a lot. And that's
a foot longer. You already can't put a.
It's a foot longer than the standard Escalade. So
the standard, okay.
Yeah, so the extended one is probably still longer. So 750 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and a 55-inch curved display that they took from the Cadillac Celestiq.
That thing is gorgeous, by the way. It is so cool. Look, I'm telling you, that thing is so. I looked around at all the photos that they had of it, and Automotive News was at the at the opening, and they had a little Instagram video of it. I caught that yesterday when it released.
Unreal.
It is an unreal car, and the fact that they're gonna still tow 8,000 pounds with a 450 mile range on that thing. Well, maybe not with towing 8,000 pounds, but 450 mile range on that big old honking thing. It is an impressive work.
It's probably a lot of tech from the Hummer. I bet it's ungodly heavy. But they did reiterate the fact, like, hey, like, make no mistake, Cadillac's going all electric. And I mean, obviously this is a big part of doing that. And, they did confirm there's not going to be any funny business. They're going to sell these Escalades just like dealers sell the ICE vehicles. They're going to be sitting side by side on the lot, which is good news for dealers, I think.
Here's the thing. I know this for sure because I know a few people that are like, I'm an Escalade buyer. Those buyers want the in-store experience. Mm-hmm. They actually want to go customize and make sure that they've got their things, and then they accessorize it as that thing's coming off the truck. Like, they want that in-store experience. So kudos to Cadillac for keeping that as a reality with the electric vehicle.
For sure. Andrew Boyer in the comments on LinkedIn says, factory 24-inch wheels too. That is the truth. That is a big wheel and a very expensive tire.
Absolutely. Oh man,
I'm gonna
expensive
transition.
tire is not a great transition.
A very expensive tire. It's not. Speaking
Not.
of trying to buy expensive things,
Stop.
I guess.
Man, I hadn't seen this name in a hot minute. It was like since I was 23 and building my own computers. Custom. Yeah,
My
exactly.
son Miles knows what it is.
Oh, exactly. Look, if you're anywhere between the ages of 16 and 23 and you do any level of gaming, you know
Or
exactly.
if you have a phone that gives green bubbles in text messages, you know who this company is.
Ooh, online technology retailer NewEgg is working to transform reviews in ecomm with its latest AI-driven feature. The tech retailer now employs generative AI ChatGPT to distill customer reviews into concise, what they're calling review bites, and detailed summary AI paragraphs to make it easier for shoppers to get the gist of a review. So basically what it does is it takes a whole subset of reviews, grabs all the keywords, phrases, and understanding from a large set of reviews and distills it into exactly the way that shoppers might feel out about that. What they're really doing is making sure that everything is labeled for transparency, so that if you've got this like shopper review or review bite, everybody knows, hey, this came from something generated, not from something actually written, and it's still clear and easy to get to the main reviews. But I love this because, one, Paul, if you've ever read through like 20 reviews, you're like, do these people even speak English? Right? You're like, it's capital letters all over the place, missing contractions.
Oh, he's going grammar.
Yeah, so it's rough. And so I really appreciate this because the sentiment is really what I'm looking for in the reviews. Yep. And if I can grab sentiment and maybe some key things that I might be looking for in a really short, concise way, kudos. And I think, man, Auto would do well. Like, I'm glad we've already got a line out to Jamie Oldershaw, and we're going to get a line out to Matt over at Wide Whale, because I think that there's a really unique opportunity here for Auto to capture the same type of engagement.
I can also, I mean, it's all about speed. And like you said, like kind of mentally summarizing the sentiment, and everyone does it in a little bit of a different way. When you're scanning and reading through reviews, right? You see some repeated elements, you try to capture the sentiment. I wouldn't be surprised if Google reviews start doing this, right? Because it allows you to fit more reviews on one page. And I think it's something to be super aware of, because all of a sudden, as a dealership, if the reviews are going to be summarized and the sentiments summarize, the good and the bad don't get buried. So
that's right.
You can be front and center and out there. But I think it's a good development. Save people time and allow us to read more reviews faster. Like, that sounds like a win for everybody.
From an SEO perspective, you're like, what are the key things that people say about our brand, and what will be shopping about our brand, and bringing that to the forefront in the content on your pages. Done.
Done. It's good. It's real good.
Practical stuff this morning. You know what I'm saying, Paul?
We're trying to give you the good practical stuff. Hey, thank you so much to everybody that's alive and well in the comments, watching the show live. If you don't, you can also listen to it and you download it on your favorite podcast platform. But it's Thursday. We got some work to do.